Hi there. Welcome back to Tizzy's World. I hope everybody had a great day. So I know that for some people that today was one of those wonderful days where your kid is, going to another grade, which is very beautiful. And awards are given out and everything like that, which is just so beautiful. All right. So my apologies if I had to go be somewhere, and I could have did it at 4:30 in the morning. And dark, where the stars are out there. I might do it again. But this time, I decided, just do it later. It's okay. Alright? So, where were we? Alright. So, we are now on the first book of Chronicles, chapter 10 to 12. Yes, no more begat snores. Okay. I'm going to do my own family. I got a whole bunch, but when I go through it, I'll be like, oh my gosh. It's the family tree is never ending. Alrighty then, so here we are. Saul's overthrown and death. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines. And fell down, slain in Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines followed hard after Saul and after his sons. And the Philistines slew Jonathan and Abinadab and Malchishua, the sons of Saul. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was wounded of the archers. Then said Saul to his armor-bearer, draw thy sword, and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and abuse me. But his armor-bearer would not, for he was sore afraid. So Saul took a sword and fell upon it. Well, I believe that was considered admirable suicide. And when his armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise on the sword and died. So heartbroken, he fell on a sword as well and died. It's double suicide. Although it seems to be admirable. And it gets to be put in a book. Well, pardon me. The book of books. So Saul died, and his 3 sons, and all his house died together. Oh. And when all the men of Israel that were in the valleys saw that they fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, then they forsook their cities and fled, and the Philistines came and dwelt in them. I think that's happened for a reason. because I really was just talking about some scenarios in this type. Because, fun fact, I do like it, and some people kind of disagree with it, that what? Call it participation awards, right? People should compete. So those ones that aren't good enough, they don't get anything. But what if they are? Shouldn't we be recognizing people for being them and encouraging them to be better as themselves? Loving themselves. Because if they love themselves so much, here's what would happen. They would be giving themselves a reward. Okay, shoot, man. Woo! We gonna fight. I love it. Where's my keys at? This is not no round. This is not no round two with you. Shoo. He gonna make me. See, look at this. I should get an award. For being loved the most by a wasp. Pardon. Oh, y'all taking a look at my stuff, huh? Yeah, that's why I probably couldn't even open it. Look, what's in there? What's in there? I don't know. Bag of M&Ms is what's in there. My stuff. Looking for keys. He's like, hey, it's free looks inside somebody's bag. Nah, man. Everything happens for a reason, dude. For real. There ain't nothing in my purse. Oh, I do have something cool, though, in my purse. Radar. Gotta always have one of those in your car. Although I do advise you, warning, they can beep and drive you insane. With their beep, 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 beep. I'm like, oh my gosh. Totally. And you know what? The wasp decided to leave me alone. Watch, he'll come back and say, yeah, you better get in that car. Serious. I'm going to take the Bible and I'm going to smack the wasp with the Bible. Right? No, I'm not. I was just kidding. I would never. Y'all can take a break and look at the sky. Hello. Sorry I left you there for a minute. Go right there. Hello. Sorry. I'm still learning this a little bit here. I noticed, oh, I can pause. Cool. All right, so should we go here and back in the car? I could sweat a few pounds off. Oh my gosh. To be honest, it's crazy. I start going back in the car and the wasp decided to say, well, I'll leave you alone. It's like, nice seeing you again. You smell good. Never thought I could have to say thank you to a wasp. Nah, man, I was about to fight you and he leaves. See, he didn't want to fight me. Oh! There goes an idea. Ah! He didn't want to fight. That's right. I'm going to leave one of the car door open so, you know, he can come in. I think he's going to come in. I don't think so. Oh. All right, so. Yeah, got to get up here a little bit. On why I would do this in the morning. Early in the morning. Right? Where did I go off? Because I'm over here with in the wrong section in my book. Done closed the page, done moved or whatnot. Shoot. I'm about to karate chop punch a wasp in the face. Me and that wasp gonna go to war, I'm telling you. The wasp is enjoying a nice breezy wind and whatnot. He's like, nah, you gonna get in the car and sweat. I can't feel it. Oh, how can you not feel it? How can I? I'm pretty sure some of you are running that. How can I not feel the major heat or whatnot? I don't know. Have a one-on-one brush off with death multiple times. And okay, so where did we go before the wasp came out and then I started thinking of this stuff? Let's see. Oh, yes. No, the armor bearer fell on his own sword and died, and they died together. And that's where we left off. All right, let's move forward, shall we? And when all the men of Israel that were in the valley saw that they fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, then they forsook their cities and fled, and the Philistines came and dwelt in them. And it came to pass on the morrow that the Philistines came to strip the slain, that they found Saul and his sons fallen in Mount Gibor. And when they had stripped him, they took his head and his armor, and sent into the land of the Philistines round about. Do y'all like that little slideshow? To carry tidings unto their idols and to the people. And they put his armor in the house of the Lord. I have no idea why I wanted to say that just now, but it's their gods. And they put his armor in the house of their gods, all lowercase, and fastened his head in the temple of Dagon. And when all Jabesh Gilead heard all that the Philistines had done to Saul, Then arose all the valiant men, and took away the body of Saul, and the bodies of his sons, and brought them to Jabesh, and buried their bones under the oak in Jabesh, and fastened 7 days. So Saul died for his transgressions, which he committed against the Lord, all capital letters, even against the word of the Lord, all capital letters again, which he kept not, and also for asking counsel of one that had a familiar spirit, to inquire of it, and inquired not of the Lord, all capital letters, and turned the kingdom unto David. David made king over all Israel. Then all Israel gathered themselves to David unto Hebron, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. And moreover, in time past, even when Saul was king, thou wast he that leddest out and broughtest in Israel, and the Lord, no capital, thy God, not all capital, but one capital, said unto thee, Thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be ruler over my people Israel. Therefore came all the elders of Israel to the king to Hebron. We're not letting them listen. That, I bet you $1,000,000 that really is the same one. He thought that I was going to get zoned out in the book, right? Yeah. I'd rather be in a sauna because, see, I can't feel it anyway. So Sorry about me. I had some water earlier. I'll be good. Alrighty then. It's not worse than being in a black church with no fan. Whew, I remember those days. Man. Hours. Maybe that's why kids be passing out. I don't know. Well, I can also say just me. Really. It seemed to be only me. Goodness. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start number 2 over again. And moreover, in time past, even when Saul was king, thou wast he that leddest out and broughtest in Israel, and the Lord thy God said unto thee, Thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be ruler over my people Israel. Therefore came all the elders of Israel to the king, to Hebron. And David made a covenant with them in Hebron before the Lord, and they anointed David king over Israel according to the word of the Lord by Samuel. Jerusalem made the capital of Israel, and David and all Israel went to Jerusalem, which is Jebus, where the Jebusites were, the inhabitants of the Lord. And the inhabitants of Jebus said to David, Thou shalt not come hither. Nevertheless, David took the castle of Zion, which is the city of David. I saw a disconnect there. I just had to repeat that one. Couldn't help it. And David said, Whosoever smiteth the Jebusites first shall be chief and captain. So Joab, the son of Zeruiah, went first up and was chief. And David dwelt in the castle. Therefore they called it the city of David. And he built the city round about, even for Meadow round about. And Joab repaired the rest of the city. So David waxed greater and greater, for the Lord of hosts was with him. These are also the chief of the mighty men who David had, who strengthened themselves with him in his kingdom and with all Israel, to make him king according to the word, all lowercase, of the concerning Israel. This is the number of the mighty men whom David had. Jashobeam, a Hechelmite, the chief of the captains. He lifted up his spear against 300 slain by him at one time. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Elhite, who was one of the three mighties. He was with David at Pishdamim. And there the Philistines were gathered together to battle, with a parcel of ground full of barley. And the people fled from before the Philistines, and they set themselves in the midst of that parcel, and delivered it, and slew the Philistines, and the Lord saved them by a great deliverance. Now 3 of the 30 captains went down to the rock to David, into a cave, the cave of Adullam. And the host of the Philistines encamped in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in the hold, and the Philistines, Grayson, was then at Bethlehem. And David longed and said, "Oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well, and Bethlehem, that is at the gate." And the 3 brake through the host of the Philistines, and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem, that was by the gate, and took it, and brought it to David. But David would not drink of it, but poured it out to the Lord. So we poured it out to the Lord. We didn't pour it out to the dead. Right? You pour a little drink out for the dead. Anybody remember that? Pour a little drink out to the dead. Well, they poured a little drink out to the Lord. Which reminds me that I just was doing a little bit of research, and yes, thanks to my bro. Yeah, I'm gonna give a heads up on him, Zeke. Nicknames. We're using nicknames, people. All right. So it was mentioning something very interesting to me. So, was it Shoel? All right. So, some of you people will know what Shoel means, right? If you're listening to this. The Hebrew. Yeah, Shoel. So, it's Shoel's also, look it up. Shoel. Realm of the dead. The name of that Bible, Hebrew Bible. And hell, Hel, as well. And then we got Helle. Remember that one too. All right. So very interesting, because when we were talking about this, I started thinking of the Book of the Dead. I'm like, oh my gosh, Book of the Dead. Everybody remember Book of the Dead? Oh, I love that movie, Book of the Dead. Oh, it was so good. When I started looking at it now, though, I had to keep in mind, forget about all the graphics we have now. Forget about them, because, oh my gosh, you know, looking at it now, it's like hard to look at, but it's still great, though. They really need to make a new one. I bet you it would be like the bomb. A new Book of the Dead with the graphics we got now. Shoo-wee. We wonder why they haven't done it. Maybe because it's hard to replace the actor that did it. I have no idea, because I can think of would be good. Yes. But maybe they need to pick a particular actor. I don't know, or actor and actress. Maybe it needs to be done by people of color, and they just quirky about it, or a mixture. Hey, we need more of those mixtures. They're the best. Oh, moving forward, even my son found some really cool. It was the Norse gods. Yeah, speaking of gods. And Norse gods seem to be older than what we're doing right now. Yeah, so, but hey, that's Norse gods. That's a whole nother level, which is actually coincidentally Scandinavian language, which is so insane that I actually have Scandinavian in me too as well, which is crazy. This is, thanks to my bro Zeke again bringing up stuff, and then I picked it up and I was sitting there reading, and I said, yo, I'm thinking this might be a good book to read, but I still gotta read this one though. I can't be going into other books and reading them while reading this one. It might get a little bit wonky. All right. So, moving forward, shall we? Where were we? Alright, so, let's see. And David dwelt in the castle, therefore they called it the city of David. And Joab repaired the... So David waxed greater and greater, for the Lord of hosts was with him. These are the chief of the mighty men whom David had, who strengthened themselves within his kingdom with him, and with all Israel, to make him king according to the word of the Lord concerning Israel. And this is the number of the mighty men whom David had: Jeroboam and Hakumanite, the chief of the captains. He lifted up his spear against 300 slain by him at one time. And after him was Eliza, the son of Dodo, the Heratites, who